Diane Mahia, the CEO in the Ministry of Education, stood in as a representative for the Governor General during the 12th annual wreath laying ceremony for National Service Day. A host of other government officials, public officers, and the leader of the opposition, Moses Shine Barrow, also attended the event at the Lordred Cemetery. Students from several primary schools, as well as the Belize High School, also participated in today's activity.
I was talking to Mr. Juan Carlos Dusan, who is one of the Publix owners and is a parishioner of mine at St. Martin's. And he told me this story. He said one time he had walked into Holy Redeemer Cathedral for the early 5 a.m. Mass back when they had it, and there was Mr. Price. And he would go to this Mass as a young man shortly after he had moved to Belize. And he said it came time for the Eucharistic prayer when everybody kneels down, but he had some back problems, so he couldn't kneel down. So instead he just sort of did a little yoga pose kind of thing on the floor of the church. And afterwards, Mr. Price approached this young man and said to him, "Sir, this is a Catholic church. I don't know what you were doing, but we don't do that here." And Juan Carlos said to him in reply, "Well, I'm sorry, sir, but I actually have some back problems and I can't kneel down, so I was doing that instead, trying to be respectful." And Mr. Price just shakes his head, and keep in mind he's almost 90 years old at this point. He just shakes his head and he said, "You would think by my age I would have learned the most important words of Jesus, 'Judge not, lest ye be judged.' I still have some work to do before I die."
Halfway through the ceremony, the dark clouds that covered the skies above burst open, sending everyone scrambling for shelter, except for these soldiers who stood by Price's gravesite. Notwithstanding the rains, students from St. Luke's Methodist performed a brilliant rendition of the song "Welcome to Belize."
On the distant horizon, far across the blue sea, lies a land full of mystery. Feel the warmth of the shining sun, feel the cool of the breeze. Hear the sound of the rolling waves calling to you and me. Welcome to Belize.
Also, two of George Price's great-grandnieces from the Belize High School recited excerpts from two of his speeches.
Belizeans, unite to build our nation. Builders, why do you stand looking out to sea? Belizean builders, see the living beauty, the teeming bounty, the soul-moving glory. Look west, Belizean builders. See the shining mountains and the jeweled city of Mopan, radiating life and love and hope and joy. After all, the quickest and most efficient way to build the new nation of Belize is by using our own energies and conserving our assets.
As we build our new nation of Belize, it would be well for us to learn the lessons of history and thus to avoid errors and needless sufferings of the past. My government has the duty and the task to lead this country, to independence in a peaceful and bloodless manner, and thus to prove to history that Christian democracy's solution is right. It is right in that in unity there should be diversity, but first there should be unity. All should be of one mind concerning the fundamentals of nationhood, one identity, one nation, one constitution, one democracy.
In his keynote address, Deputy Prime Minister Cordell Hyde pondered what the Right Honorable George Price would say to Belizeans in 2023 if he was alive.
I often think about what he would say if he were living in these times. I believe he'd probably say a prayer for us, for this new Belize where our parents can be too taken up with their own vanity, and our children too mindless consumers of the social media tragedy. This new Belize where we are deeply divided and go at each other's throats in a New York minute, where oftentimes disagreements devolve into vicious takedowns and open violence, where our young men maim and kill each other at will. He'd say a prayer because he was a prayerful man. He'd pray to the Almighty to please protect and preserve Belize, our beloved country, that we be preserved in union and in peace, which the world itself cannot give.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.